Hi, this is Terry Levitt Chavez with Evelyn's Park Conservancy, and today we are doing Texas Children's Art in the Park inside our home. Anyways, welcome, and we are going to be doing Mother's Day cards. And so basically I just got just various things from around the house. I have crayons, I have some buttons. And if you don't have these things right now, you can always later on rewind the video. I've got pencils and markers and scissors, old greeting cards, new greeting cards, I have magazines. And so really, what I'm showing you today, if you don't have something, you can, use something else in its place. So, to get started, I'm going to find some construction paper, and we'll just do a few different types today, so you can do the one you'd like to do when we're done. So first of all, I'm just going to fold the paper in half, and I'm going to look for a pretty pattern in a magazine. So I'm going to get my magazine out here. And the magazine, basically I'm going to be putting people on my card. And this one is going to be a mother and a child. And so we'll do a girl for this one because I have a little girl. And we're going to cut out two triangles. We're going to do, the mom is going to be a bigger triangle, and the child is going to be a smaller triangle. So we're going to go ahead, and it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Art is whatever you feel like at the time when you're doing it. So my first cut for the mother, I'm going to get this a little bit smaller because my paper is a little bit smaller. So my first cut looks something like this, and I'm going to, I've got this big pile of glue over here. I put some gallon glue into this water bottle. And I'm just going to use a paintbrush to spread the glue. And I'm just going to spread a little glue on the back of my triangle. So I'm going to do that. And the glue should dry pretty quickly. And so right now, I just put randomly a piece of paper, which is a triangle, on the paper. And let's see, I found like all these old plastic buttons, so I think my mother's face is going to be this cute little circle one. So, if you don't have spare buttons laying around, you could just cut a piece of paper in a circle to represent its face. And you can also, draw things on her face, like eyes, nose, mouth. But because I'm using the button, I kind of already have two eyes, and I'm going to leave it like that. It's kind of abstract looking, and so I don't want to draw on this, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it on there. And then with marker or pencil or crayon, I'm going to give her some legs, and I'll show you this in a second. And it's just very fun and abstract. I'm actually an abstract artist, so I really don't know how to draw hands and feet, so I'm going to do this kind of my way. I just kind of put two lines for its legs and circles for its feet, and her arms again with a line and circle. So just real easy. If you know how to draw real arms and legs and you want to do it that way, you could do it that way as well. Okay, so now I'm going to make the girl, and let's see. As far as, I have this cute little heart-shaped button with me, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. I'm going to put some glue again on the back of it. Glue the head on. So right now I've got a little head going, and this is going to be a little girl. So I'm going to find another pattern in my magazine for the little girl's dress, and I'm going to go ahead and cut out a smaller triangle because this is going to be a younger girl. My daughter's age. She's not that little anymore. She's just turned 11. She had a birthday on the 15th, so she's not so little anymore. But anyways, she is a little bit shorter than me, so we'll pretend that this is her. And I'm going to go ahead again and glue that piece of paper onto my card. Got a lot of glue going on here. Try not to make a mess for your parents, or if you do make a mess, please clean up afterwards. Your parents are working really hard right now, making sure that you have everything, so clean up after yourselves. So I'm putting on this little triangle, and so now we have the start of a body. And again, on this body, I'm going to put on some arms and legs reaching towards the mother. Okay, so here we are reaching towards the mother. And I think I want to give the mother, let's do some flowers, and like maybe a bouquet of flowers. I'm going to draw that bouquet in. So I think my bouquet of flowers is going to be, because it's spring and it's April, I'm going to do some tulips. I'm going to find a red pencil for the tulip color, or kind of reddish pink. And then I'm going to find a green for the stems. And I'm going to use, I think I'm going to give it maybe a blue ribbon to wrap around it. So I'm going to go to this nice turquoise blue color pencil. I'm going to draw that in. So my version of tulips is kind of like you draw a mouth, and then I'll show you this after I do this. And then you kind of do like jagged in and out lines. So I'm going to put this close to the screen. So I'm going to just draw a few of those. So I normally work out of a gallery studio, and so all my supplies are still there. So I had to go around my house and search for my supplies I was using today. It was fun to find stuff that I hadn't seen in a while. Okay, so there's some kind of drawing in some tulips. Okay. And so right now it's kind of just looking like this, again a little bit abstract. Okay, now I'm going to draw my stems. I'm going to kind of have the stems so they're intertwining with each other. So I'm going ahead and putting in the stems, intertwining with each other. And so I just kind of drew kind of squiggly, abstract lines. You know, you could draw straight lines. You could use marker, whatever you like. And then now I'm just going to kind of draw like a representation of a bow around the stems of my flowers. You know, it's kind of like the bow kind of represents gift giving. So I'm going to wrap the bow around the inside of my flower. So right now we've got a child giving mom a bouquet of tulips, and you know, I think your mom would love this. And so, you know, inside what you can do is just write a nice message to your mom. You know, something like, happy Mother's Day. And, I always do exclamation points. And, I write something sweet like, I'm so thankful for all that you do for me. And then I'm going to sign it, Love, Terry. And so that's just kind of real simple little card to my mom. And what I'd love, once you guys get your cards done, if you could post it in the comments, I'd love to see your card. Okay, so now I think I'm going to do another card. And this card is going to be, again, the same idea, but this time it's going to be a boy giving his mom some flowers. And so again, the mom, I'm going to cut a triangle out of a magazine. I'm going to find some cool pattern. I kind of like this pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a triangle out of that pattern. All of our classes at the park come from sponsors, donors, and I really just want to thank again Texas Children's Hospital for letting us do this the fourth Saturday of every month. I'm so excited to be able to get back to the park and do this with you guys hands-on. But for now, this is good. So thank you, Texas Children's, for letting us get together today and do this. Okay, for our boys' paper, so like I used pink, right, for the girls' card. And so for the boys' card, I think I'm going to use this green because it feels more boy to me. I'm going to fold my paper again. And this card, I'm not going to make it as wide. I feel like I want to take it down a little bit. So, I just kind of eyeball things, try to cut a straight line. And, you could do some fun things around the rim of the paper. You could decide to kind of make it curly-Q around the side of the paper, just kind of fun, whimsical. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to kind of cut the borders around in the paper because I feel like making a little bit more mess. And later on, I definitely have a good messy project for everybody who likes making a little bit of a mess, because I know when I paint my abstract paintings, I like to, I don't use brushes, and I kind of paint on the floor when I'm painting, and I love making a mess. So it's fun, it's very relaxing. So making a mess, getting outside in your backyards, digging in some soil, planting a tree for your mom, planting some plants for your mom, that would be a great thing to do on Mother's Day. So just cutting back this, and I just decided to make kind of like an abstract card, and so just kind of did some random jagged edges. And so now I'm going to go ahead and stick on the mother's dress, which again is a triangle cut out. I just decided to use a magazine that was laying around the house, but you could even do a newspaper. This would kind of be cool in like black and white. Or you could do, you drew the dress and newspaper, black and white, and then do color for its head. It can just really be whatever you want it to be. And for the mom, I'm going to, I think I like this little octagon-shaped piece they have. Again, these are buttons for the heads, but if you don't have buttons right now laying around the house, it's not a problem. All you have to do is cut some paper in a circle and put it on as a head. You could cut out a plate, you could cut out cardboard, anything you like. Okay, so there we go. There's the mom's head attached to her dress again, for those of you who weren't here earlier. And I'm going to just use my pencil and draw some abstract legs for her and a hand reaching out abstractly. So kind of something that looks like this. And so now for the boy, I'm going to do just kind of like a rectangle object for his clothes. And so, ooh, I love this. This is kind of like a blue and white pattern. I'm going to use that for his outfit. Feels very whimsical. I love patterns. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out a small little rectangle. Again, it's just all freehand. Keeping it real easy today. Nothing needs to be perfect. Art, right? In art, nothing really is perfect. So that's going to be his body. And so we're going to go ahead and put some glue on back of that to stick onto our card paper. And I am going to, for his head, I am going to use, I'm going to use this button, you know, and it's a little bit, well, it's kind of a little bit smaller than the mom's head, but it's okay. Maybe it's pretty close to it. But he'll look kind of a little bit shorter to his mom. I guess some boys, right, they're probably bigger than their mom's taller, so either way it works. So now I just have a button, and again, on top of the blue and white, this is going to be the boy. I'm going to draw in some legs for him. And his hand will be raising to her hand. So just something like this. And I'm going to go ahead, and that glue that was kind of smearing, that's okay because it's just going to dry clear. For him, because I don't really know how to draw flowers all that well, I'm just going to do different color circles representing my flowers and just using some bright colors. I'm going to use red and pink, kind of some happy bright colors, and orange I have here, and I have yellow, and I'm just going to draw some circles, different colors, and I'll show you this in a moment. And I'm going to draw in my yellow, and then I'm going to also draw in those whimsical stems. And because I'm on green paper, I have to choose a different color, so I'm going to kind of choose, kind of this like grayish color to represent my stems. I'm going to see if on top of that, if I can, with my green, well, I can't really get that green on. Maybe I'll use a marker here and try to kind of accentuate my stems. It's a little bit darker green than the paper, so I kind of got the stems to look okay. I forgot I was working on green paper, and it's hard to put green pencil on green paper. That's okay. You can, even if you make errors in art, you can always correct them. That's what I love about art. In fact, I've done paintings where I really just didn't like the painting, and I just go right back over it, so it's okay. And actually, sometimes in art, when you go over things, it adds texture that you would not normally have. So I'm going to kind of wrap my stems again with a bow, and there, voila, we have a boy handing his mother a bouquet of flowers for Mother's Day. And I'm going to go ahead, and since this is darker paper, I'm going to write my message inside with a marker. Let me see where my markers are. Got a big pile going in front of me. My mess is starting. And those who know me and now have come by my studio know I make a big mess. So I'm going to write inside, Dear Mom, I love you so much. Happy Mother's Day. Love, Terry. And so, it's just a nice, simple message written inside the card. And so now we've produced so far, we have these cards, a mom giving a boy flowers, and then you have your girl giving flowers to her mom. So those are 2 cards that we've done. So I kind of want to go into a few different cards. A lot of times, you have these cards laying around the house and, ask your parents if it's okay, but you can also use an old card to make your new homemade card. So it just it feels more substantial. And so I'm going to use this old holiday card I had, I'm repurposing it to make another card. And so all I'm going to do is, on top of this card, is I'm going to put my construction paper on it. And again, it could be anything. You could use anything, right? You could put newspaper on it. You could put you could put newspaper on it and use a black marker and draw a picture on it. There's a lot of different things you can do because, right now it's harder to get supplies. Our stores aren't open, and so it's kind of fun to find things in the house that you can use to do your art with. So on this card, I have a bird, and I'm going to just go ahead and repurpose the card, and I'm going to cut out a square piece of construction paper. So I'm going to go ahead and use my glue to stick on that construction paper. Got lots of glue going here now. And I'm just going to rub some glue on the back. And I'm just going to center it as good as I can. Okay, so I'm just gluing it on. So right now we have a square, and just kind of press it down, get rid of those wrinkles in there. You're going to have little wrinkles, but that's okay. And so now you've covered up the old greeting card. And then inside, I'm going to do the same thing. Hopefully I didn't glue it shut, no. I'm just going to cut out a rectangle, kind of a little bit smaller than my rectangle, but big enough that I'm covering up the words on my old card that we're repurposing. And this is a great thing, we just celebrated Earth Day, to repurpose things instead of just throwing them into the wastebasket or our recycle bins. Paper you would throw into recycle bins. And I'm going to go ahead now and on that square, put some more glue on that square. I'm getting my glue on. Okay. So now, this was a holiday card that was given to me that I'm repurposing, and I'm just putting a piece of construction paper over the old words. So now I have like a really sturdy card that I can do my project with. So this project that we're going to do, I feel like, you know, it's been Earth Day, it's been Arbor Day this week, so I feel like I want to do a tree on the front for Mom. Now, again, I don't really know how to draw trees, so I'm going to draw it abstractly. And so I'm going to look, I feel like tree trunks, they have kind of like a gray or brown trunk. So I'm just going to find my brown, and I'm just going to abstractly kind of, and I'll show you kind of what I'm doing. I am kind of abstractly kind of envisioning what I think a tree trunk looks like. And so I'm going to kind of give it some squiggles in there, and I'll show you in a second. I'm just kind of squiggling in just some free-form lines, kind of doing this abstractly, you know, and it's also, I don't have internet outside of my house, but, you know, once you get off of this call, it just might be fun to go in your backyard or front yard if your parents allow you, and just go sit by a tree and maybe kind of look at it and, you know, draw out the bark. And it's good to get out in nature right now, get some sunshine, and just, you know, being outside is so great for you. But just make sure before you leave the house to get your parents okay. So this is going to be my tree base. And so now what I want to do is a colorful abstract tree, and I'm going to do that using my glue. And for this I am going to use construction paper because I have some different colors here. Again, if you don't have construction paper for this, you can rip up little pieces. It'd be cool to do one with a magazine, and you could tear that up and get different prints on that. If you just have a newspaper, tear that up. But so right now I'm going to use some construction paper. I just took random colors. It can be as many colors as you want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it sleeves, but I'm going to make it sleeves just by, it's just going to be random leaves. I'm just tearing the paper, and this feels good, just to do stuff in free form. That's what I love about abstract art, is you don't have to, it doesn't have to be so precise. Now, if you're a precise person, you could do this project with cutting out leaves the way that leaves should look. You know, if you want to look up in a book and see, you know, what type of leaves look on oak trees or pecan trees, and draw them in, or cut, you know, draw them in on paper and cut them true to form. You could do that too. But today I'm just doing an abstract version. So basically I just have a bunch of little cutout pieces of construction paper. Okay, and so I am going to take those pieces and I'm going to just glue them onto my tree. I'm going to do a few, and you kind of just overlap and glue them on. And I'm going to keep going at that. But right now, oh, one fell off. Right now, that's kind of where we're at. So I'm going to keep gluing. I'm going to put the glue on the paper, and then I'll kind of show you that. I'm just kind of patting away at my paper. So that my paper can stick. And I keep gluing on, and then the glue I put on top of my pieces so everything sticks. And this is going to be wet for a while, so you're going to have to kind of step away from it and let it dry. But it's going to be really pretty, colorful. You could do any colors for your leaves. I have some bright leaves, some pastel leaves, and some dark leaves in mine. I think the colors you pick might feel like the mood for your day. Okay, I'm just kind of gluing on, and we keep going, but I kind of want to show you where I'm at so far. And I'm going to just keep laying additional colors onto my tree. So again, I'm going to put some more glue on because it's starting to dry. And I'm going to gluing on the little pieces of paper. And if you've come in midway, we're on our third card project right now, and you came on midway after this video ends. It'll be up and you can go back, or even if you've been watching and you didn't get a part, you can rewatch it again. And I would love to see and kind of put this up too, like all of your cards that you make for your mom. Would love to see that posted in comments so I can see that you enjoyed your day and what you made for your mom. That would make my day. Okay. And so this is kind of what I have so far. So again, just ripping up pieces of paper for the leaves, kind of freehand drawing in the tree. And I'm going to continue, just I kind of want to feel like lightening it up a little bit, so I'm going to use yellow into it. I'm just going to, again, my leaves are just made from ripping the paper. So I'm ripping the paper. It's so much fun just to rip paper. I love just the sound of ripping paper, just feels great. And so we're just going to rip some paper. I know you kids love making messes, and that is truly what I'm doing right now, is making a mess in front of me. I have a lot to clean up later. So right now, like, all my glue on top has dried off, so I've just really recoated my project with glue. And I'm going to put the yellow leaves on now. I've just felt like it looked a little bit too dark. I want to lighten it up for my mom. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to glue in more of my paper. And again, just really want to thank Texas Children's Hospital for sponsoring our 4th Saturday Art in the Park. Can't wait to see you guys there in the park again. But until then, we'll be going virtual on the 4th Saturday of the month. So stay tuned for that. So you can see by me adding in that yellow paper, it really lightened up kind of the look of the tree. It feels like I'm feeling happier now. Lighter, bright colors like that are happy. So I feel like my tree trunk, it needs a little bit more definition, so I'm just going to, in a different color, kind of put some highlighting on this, kind of show you where I did that. My marker's kind of running out here. Let me see if this, no, it's not two-sided. So I'm going to find another marker. Just going to use this purple one. I'm just going to a little darker color, going to highlight my tree out. And put some limbs on the outside. Okay, and so that's kind of highlighted the tree a little bit more. And then inside where we put, again, this was a recycled card, and we just put construction paper over the front where we had a print of something else. It was a holiday print. We put a piece of construction paper there. We put construction paper over the words of the original card that we're recycling. And so now I'm going to write Mom a note on it, and I'm just going to write, Dear Mom, I love you so much. You are the best mom ever. Then I'm going to write, love, Terry. And voila. We have a recycled card. So we reused a card that was sent to us that otherwise would go into trash, and now we're giving it to somebody else. So that feels real good to basically recycle cards. So now we've completed 3 cards. So we have the girl, the daughter giving Mom a bouquet of roses. We have the son giving Mom a bouquet of roses. And we have a fun tree to give to our mom. So the next card I'm going to do is kind of got into the kitchen and I found this fun baking cup. So what we're going to do with that, I'm going to pick out just some fun colors. A lot of fun colors here. There's metallics. That's kind of fun. But I'm going to just do some of these basic colors for this one. I think I have basic colors. So I'm going to do a purple baking cup, a green baking cup, and a red baking cup. And a red baking cup. So, you know, kind of when you look at flowers, you kind of have like your outside, and a lot of times maybe it goes thinner going in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave, this is going to be the base of my flower, and what I'm going to do is turn it, if you could see this. So this was my cupcake holder, and I'm going to turn it inside out because I want to have, this is what you're going to visually see when the card is done. So when the card is done, I want my mom to see the color. So I'm going to do my 3 colors, and I'm just going to flip them inside out so my petals are showing. Turn it inside out so you could see the petals. Okay, so my bottom color is going to be this purple, and then I think my middle is going to be this green. And so I want to basically make this a little bit shorter so you could see when you put in the cups the bottom purple part come out. So I'm just going to take off like, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch on this one. Okay, and just kind of cut around the side of it as it was folded. And I'm going to put that in the cup to see what it looks like. So it looks like that. I think I want some more purple to show, so I'm going to go ahead and try this. I'm going to take another 1/4 inch off of it. Okay, so I took another 1/4 inch off. And I'm going to put it inside like this. And then I'm going to take about ½ of an inch off of my center one, so I'm going to cut that. That's not quite a ½ inch. I'm kind of eyeballing this. It's probably closer to ½ inch. Okay, and this is going to be my center. And when I put my center in, it's looking, I think, kind of a little too big, so I'm going to cut a little bit more off. So I want a smaller center. So you just kind of keep trimming until you get to the point where you visually want your flower. So I like that. So that's kind of where I am. And I don't know, see if I have any more colors today. Well, I think I'm going to keep it at 3. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue here. I'm going to glue the green in, and I'm going to put some glue here, and I'm going to glue the red in. So I'm going to do that real quick. If you're following me, you can do that. And I know, like, you probably don't have all these supplies in front of you, and so once this video is over, you'll be able to rewind and do it, or you can, I think I want to use different color paper than purple. I was gluing on purple paper, putting purple down, and I want it to kind of pop up from the paper, so I am going to use, let's see what colors I have here. I'm going to use a piece of blue paper. Just going to fold the blue paper in half, and let's see what size this looks like. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. So anyways, I kind of need a refold because it looked a little bit uneven. Just trying to line up your sides as best as you can. Never been good at lining up paper, so it doesn't have to be perfect. That's one thing I love about art. It just doesn't, you don't need to be perfect. So there's your piece of paper folded, and you know, when you open up a piece of paper to read, or like a book, right, it's going from, let's see, your right to your left. So anyways, just good to check it out before you start gluing down. I'm going to glue down my first cupcake holder, and this was the one that wasn't cut. I left it whole, so I'm going to paste on my purple cupcake holder to my card. Let that dry a little bit, kind of pushing it down. Okay. And then I'm going to put my red one, or my green one in next. So again, I'm just going to go get some glue, put some glue on the bottom. And you know, if you don't have glue, you could use double stick tape. You could even like staple this on if you needed to. So everybody has a little glue. And so that's my middle, so I put one cupcake holder into another, and then I'm going to put my third one in the center. Let me get some glue, and I'll show you how this is coming along so far. And so there's the start of my flower, and it was just putting 3 different colors of cupcake holders that I have in my cupboard that I found this morning to do this project. And then, so I found this really cool bag of old pom-poms. So I'm going to, I want to put like some bright colored pom-poms in the middle. So I'm going to put some bright colored pom-poms. But what I'm going to show you, again, going back to, if you don't have this stuff right now, it's not to worry, right? You could just put little circles of paper in. You could put buttons in the middle. I have little pom-poms. Now these pom-poms were right from the store. You know, you could make your own pom-poms if you had yarn lying around. You just kind of circle the yarn around your finger for a little bit. Hopefully this comes off. I went too tight. Circle it so you're not cutting off your circulation. So you circle, circle, circle. Just showing you how to make pom-poms if you don't have pom-poms in your house, just out of your yarn that you might have laying around. Okay, so I'm going to cut this. Okay, so I just twirled around my finger. I'm going to get another piece and I'm going to basically tie it around the yarn that I wrapped around my finger. Just put it down for a second. And I'm just going to tie it like I was tying a shoe, so from the start, and then I'm going to just tie a knot. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is these little ends I'm just going to cut. And just cut around. And I think we had this in one of our projects when we did the insects. We made these little pom-pom balls just straight from yarn. So I probably needed a little bit more yarn in here, but you know, something like this, homemade, you could also stick in the middle. So maybe I'm going to leave that to the side. We'll do another one with this homemade pom-pom. Just for grins. Show you kind of like how this project can look a little bit different. Okay, so then this has been gluing over here. So this is again what our flower looks like. It's our cupcake holders, three different colors. The first one was just your cupcake holder not cut. I cut about 1/4 of an inch to get to the next layer, and then another 1/4 of an inch I cut off to get to this layer. But it's all kind of eyeballing it. And then I'm just going to draw on stem and leaves, and trying to find my color that I want to use for the stem. I'm going to make a green stem, and I'm just going to do abstract, kind of squiggly line, something like that. And draw some cute little abstract leaves in. And again, you know, you might go outside in your backyard and be inspired by nature as you do this project. And look at flowers and look at their leaves and kind of look at their shapes. So I just kind of drew on some abstract leaves. And so now I'm just going to write a message inside to Mom. I'll just do it in the screen. And I'll just write, Dear Mom, thank you for making me breakfast every morning. You are the best. Love, Terry. So now you have your card, and I just kind of drew it at an angle. It's all very whimsical. And you have your little flower made out of cupcake holders. Okay, so again, kind of going back to some of the cards we created this morning to give you some ideas. We made a girl giving her mom a bouquet of tulips. And here is a boy giving his mom some abstract flowers. He made a tree using just kind of ripped up construction paper and we kind of drew in with marker the tree trunk. And now we use cupcake holders to draw, we use cupcake holders to make a flower for the outside of our card. So I'm going to do another cupcake holder one. This one a little bit different. Again, I'm going to do kind of a metallic one. We have some metallic cupcake holders in our house. And I want to once again thank Texas Children's Hospital for sponsoring Art in the Park 4th Saturdays from 10 to 12. We appreciate everything that you bring to our community. So I'm going to go with the red on the base of my cupcake holder, and then I'm going to use purple for the next layer, and then turquoise for my inside layer. So on this same thing as we did before, I'm going to turn the cupcake holder inside out so that you can visually see the color of the of the flower leaves. And I'm going to do the same for my turquoise and for my blue, just kind of turning them inside out. And then for the base of my flower, this time I'm just going to do some cuts along it. So I'm cutting around the cupcake holder, kind of where the indentations are that the factory put on the cupcake holder. I'm just cutting. And so now when I turn it out, you can really see that it looks like leaves. So I'm going to do that for all of them. But first, my inside color, remember that step, we want to make it so it's a little bit smaller of a cupcake holder. So I'm going to cut about 1/4 of an inch off. Cutting, cutting, cutting. And then this again, I'm going to just cut on, just kind of make cuts all the way around on the cupcake holder. Kind of looks like a sun when you're looking at it. Well, that would be a fun one to do too. We could do that too. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of what's neat about art. You start getting into it and then you're like, oh yeah, we could do this too. So this is kind of what my cupcake holder looks like now in the middle. And when I put the middle with the outer layer, that's what it looks like. And so now I'm going to do my center. And on my center, I'm going to cut about 1/2 inch off of my cupcake holder. And I'm going to cut around for the petals. And cutting around for the petals. And I'm going to put that center in the center. So now it looks like that. And so I'm going to find a piece of construction paper in my messy pile here. And I'm going to fold it in half. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to glue the first layer of the petals in. My glue is going all over the place. I'm definitely a very messy artist. Okay, I'm going to glue the base petals in. So this is what the base looks like. So I glued that in. And now I'm going to glue in the center. So I'm going to put some glue on the center. And then I'm going to, so that's what my next layer looks like. I'm just gluing on top of each other. Glue in the center. So that's what our center looks like. And then I'm going to bring out that pom-pom ball that we made out of yarn. And again, how we made the pom-pom ball out of yarn is I just twirled it around my finger, the yarn around my finger, and I pulled it off my finger, and then I put a string on it, tied the string in a knot, and I just cut the rounded edges. In fact, I have one edge here that's still, you can see the loops are still there, so you want to cut all the little loops. And then I'm going to kind of trim it up. So I want it to be a little bit smaller, and I want it to just make it a little bit more cleaner. Okay, and then I'm going to, oh, there's more loops I need to cut. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue on the center. Okay, so that's some yarn put into our cupcake holder. And then I'm going to take my green marker and I'm going to draw in my stem and the leaves. Okay, so that's real sweet. So we have, made out of the cupcake holders, we have a flower, and inside we just write our message. And this message is going to be, Dear Mom, thanks for taking me to all my dance classes. You are the best. Love, Mom. Love, Terry. I forgot. I'm a mom. Okay. So there we go. So you have your inside where you write your nice message to your mom and, thank her for everything that she does. And there's the outside of your card. So, we've done kind of two different looks on our flowers using cupcake holders. And we have our tree card made out of paper and marker. And we have our card of our son giving the mom the flowers. And we use just magazine paper here. We cut our triangles and square out for the boy giving the mom its flowers. And then for the girl, we did two dresses made out of magazines. And just real sweet, the daughter giving the mom the flowers. So I think I'm just going to do one more card, and then I'll let you get at making the cards. And let's see. I'm going to make the sun. And I always think of sunshine in my mom because she always lightens up my light. So I'm going to take another piece of construction paper and I'm going to fold it. And this one I want to be, kind of want to make it in the shape of a heart. So to make a heart, you fold the paper and then you just cut what one side of the heart looks like. Okay, so that's how you cut a heart. So when Mom opens it up, she sees her heart. How sweet is that? So on our card, and this is kind of cute. It kind of looks like I think we might. This kind of could look like a mouse or something. But anyways, again, we're going to take our cupcake holder. We're going to fold it inside out, so Mom's going to be able to see the color. And on this one, we're going to use the same technique of cutting the cupcake holder that we did before on the petals, and we're just going to cut, cut, cut. Okay, cutting the sun. So when we open the sun, it really looks like a sun. Isn't that neat? And I'm going to, I just feel real happy today, and I'm going to make my sun. I'm going to find a black marker, I think. I'm going to put eyes. So I'm just going to, for the eyes, draw 2 circles. I'm not going to do a nose on this. I'm going to just draw, I don't know, for some reason, we just never drew noses on my sons. I just drew eyes and eyes and the smiley face. So that's my sun. And I'm going to put my cupcake holder on my piece of paper. And just going to glue it right on. So I have my sunshine on my paper, and so when we open it up, Mom's going to see her heart. And then I'm going to write, "Dear Mom, I love you so much. Love, Terry." Okay, so that's our sunshine. Opening it up. A message from your mom, to your mom. And so now we've completed a lot of cards today. Some different ideas, and you might come up with your own idea. But again, this was sunshine of a cupcake holder, just cutting out the sides, gluing it on, putting a smiley face on. We have the daughter giving the mother some tulips, and just using magazine paper for the dresses. The dress is cut in triangles with the heads made out of buttons, but you could use anything for the heads that you have laying around the house. We have our upcycled card, so our old card where we just put construction paper over the front, and we put construction paper in the middle. It was funny, when I opened that, some glue got in there, so you just got to make sure it dries properly. So probably drying it open would be good. And then I just kind of tore out some different colors for the leaves on our tree of construction paper, but this could be anything. It could be newspaper, magazine, it could be anything. And this was our boy giving Mom some flowers, and we just kind of drew in abstractly because we didn't know how to draw flowers, kind of just using dots, different color dots for the flowers. And the mom, her representation of a dress is through a triangle cutout, and the boy's representation of his outfit was just cutting out rectangle. So that was, this one was a flower made out of cupcake holders, and I used pom-poms that I found laying around, but you could use anything. You could use thread, you could, if you have, you could just tear up, kind of like how we did for the tree, how we teared up the paper here. You could use torn up paper for the center there as well. So you can just do anything. Let your mind be really creative. Be free. And this was metallic cupcake holders. I did a homemade pom-pom ball there for its center, and just strewed out stem and leaves. So I want you to kind of go ahead, go through your house and collect some supplies. Mother's Day is next Sunday, so happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. And just so happy to be with you today, and I hope that see you very soon back for fourth Saturday as Texas Children's Hospital presents Art in the Park every fourth Saturday. So we hope to see you soon back in the park, but if not, we'll be here virtually for you. This will be online, so I would love to see some of your pictures. Post them for me, and happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Thank you.